Stories like this are the kind that the American film industry turns into blockbuster movies for years. In fact, it feels like the full script for a Maverick Part 3 has already been handed to them. On April 3rd, over southwestern Iran, a U.S. F-15E Strike Eagle was shot down. The aircraft had two crew members, a pilot and a weapons systems officer. Both ejected. Within a few hours, the pilot was rescued, but the second crew member, the weapons officer, remained trapped inside Iranian territory for nearly 2 days. For those 48 hours, the entire world was in suspense. Was he alive? Was he dead? Had he been captured? No one knew. For the United States, this was an extremely sensitive situation. It had been more than 20 years since an American airman was stranded deep inside enemy territory like this. If Iran had captured him, it would have been a massive embarrassment. He could have been paraded on television, used for propaganda, or exchanged for prisoners of war. So the U.S. launched a dramatic rescue mission, one they now call one of the most successful in their history. But here's the twist. While the mission succeeded in rescuing the officer, it came at a massive cost. Multiple aircraft, helicopters, and drones were destroyed. Over $400 million worth of military equipment was lost. And now the real question begins. Was that the whole story? Or is Iran telling a different truth? According to U.S. reports, the F-15E had entered Iranian airspace as part of a deep strike mission targeting military assets. It was carrying a GBU-28 bunker buster bomb, a powerful weapon designed to destroy underground facilities. But to deploy this bomb effectively, the aircraft had to climb and gain altitude. That climb made it visible on radar and vulnerable to enemy fire. At that moment, Iran claims, a surface-to-air missile struck the aircraft and brought it down. Some experts suggest it could have been an advanced Iranian air defense system, while others believe it might have been a Russian or Chinese portable anti-air system. The rescue mission began almost immediately. The pilot was extracted quickly in what the U.S. calls a textbook operation. But the weapons officer was alone, separated, and surrounded by hostile forces. He moved to higher ground, about 7,000 feet up, to improve satellite connectivity. Hiding in a small crevice, he tried to avoid detection. With only a handgun, he was nearly defenseless. What saved him was a device called the Combat Survivor Evader Locator (CSEL), a satellite tracker that transmits encrypted signals. It changes frequency constantly, making it difficult to detect. Using this, he sent coded updates about his location, injuries, and nearby enemy movement. The CIA decoded the signals and passed the information to the Pentagon. That's when the U.S. launched a massive rescue operation. This wasn't just a simple extraction. It involved Navy SEAL Team 6, Delta Force operators, Army Rangers, and over 100 Special Forces personnel. There were helicopters, surveillance aircraft, fighter jets, aerial tankers, drones, and bombers providing support. Two MC-130J commando aircraft landed on a makeshift desert airstrip inside Iran, identified earlier by intelligence. From there, small MH-6 Little Bird helicopters flew low and silently toward the mountain. One reached the officer, picked him up, and returned to the strip. Everything seemed successful, until the final twist. According to U.S. sources, the landing gear of the aircraft got stuck in soft desert terrain. They couldn't take off. Meanwhile, Iranian forces began moving toward the location. Time was running out. Additional aircraft were urgently deployed. Bombers struck nearby Iranian units to delay them. Under fire, reinforcements arrived, and all personnel were evacuated. Before leaving, U.S. forces destroyed their own stranded aircraft to prevent sensitive technology from falling into enemy hands. The injured officer was later transported to Kuwait, and officials declared the mission a success. But Iran strongly disagrees. Iran's Revolutionary Guard claims they shot down multiple U.S. aircraft, including transport planes and drones. They even showed footage of burning wreckage. Iran also raises critical questions. Why would the U.S. deploy such a massive force to rescue just one person? Two MC-130 aircraft alone can carry over 120 troops. Add helicopters, drones, and fighter jets. This was far larger than a typical rescue mission. Iran suggests this wasn't just a rescue. They claim the U.S. was attempting a ground incursion, possibly to establish a forward base or target sensitive sites. The location of the operation adds to the suspicion. It was close to Isfahan and not far from Natanz, one of Iran's most critical uranium enrichment facilities. Was it really a coincidence? Another inconsistency, according to critics, is the stuck-in-sand explanation. These aircraft are specifically designed to land on rough, unprepared terrain. If they got stuck once, how did replacement aircraft land successfully in the same area? This raises doubts about the official narrative. Some defense analysts speculate that U.S. forces were already operating on the ground before the aircraft was shot down. When the situation escalated, the mission may have shifted from a covert operation to a rescue mission. One thing, however, is undisputed. Hundreds of millions of dollars worth of U.S. military hardware was destroyed in Iran. Whether it was self-destructed or shot down remains a matter of debate. Meanwhile, tensions are rising rapidly. Iran refuses to compromise. Ceasefire talks have failed. Strategic waterways like the Strait of Hormuz remain under threat. Iran has even warned about closing other critical choke points. At the same time, U.S. leadership is losing patience. Harsh rhetoric is increasing. There are even discussions about extreme military options. The big question now is, are we approaching a major escalation? Could this be the beginning of a much larger conflict? Because if this incident proves anything, it's that the balance of power is being challenged, and the next move could change everything.